YouTube, welcome your beautiful faces back to the channel. Now we have a series on this channel whereby I show you all the best chess games I've played of the week, okay? And this is part of our ELO push, okay? We are looking to climb the ranks. We are chasing Magnus Carlsen down, okay? I am hot on his tail. I will not stop in my pursuit. But I have 4 games to show you today, all extremely attacking chess, because we don't play boring chess on this channel. We want to excite, we want to make this go global. They're all very exciting attacking games. They all end with explosive checkmates, okay? So definitely stick around for game number 4, okay? If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, but guys, without further ado, we have the black pieces for the first game, and yes, we are jumping straight into it. You can see my opponent about 100 elo higher than me. They're sat at about 1600s, I'm in the 1500s. E4, C6, knight F3 and D5. So, we are playing a Caro-Kann. Opponent here plays the move E5, I then play C5, and then we get C3. So the idea here is for my opponent to play D4 and get into like some sort of advanced Caro-Kann. But I just played this move knight to C6, preparing to face D4. Opponent of course plays D4. I mean, I'm quite quite well versed in the Caro-Kann. I can sort of see what's happening before it happens. So I take this pawn. And when after they recapture, I play bishop to G4. This is a very common idea in the Caro-Kann. Like, the knight is a big defender of this pawn, as is the queen. So you want to put pressure on this knight, right? So if you take and they recapture with the queen, that leaves this pawn without a defender. Okay, very common idea in the Caro-Kann. Opponent here plays h3, which is of course a mistake because of the idea we just spoke about. We take the knight, you know? It's really that simple. Chess is so simple when you break it down to the finite details. Obviously it's not. If it were, well, I'd probably be a bit better than 1500, right? They take with a pawn because they don't want to leave the pawn on d4 hanging. Makes a lot of sense. And then I just play e6. Like, it's the last sort of developing move I can make, really, in that scenario, because I need to get these pieces out, and I can only do that after e6. Like, there are lines in the Caro-Kann where you can play knight h6, but I'll just show you guys really quickly why that's not an option. And that is because this dark square bishop is opened up. And like, do I really want this double open g-file? Not even a little bit. Nuh-uh, nuh-uh. So e6, my knight is going to go that way instead. Knight to c3, and then knight to e7. See, I told you guys. I'm a man of my word, okay? The knight is going that way. You know, it's getting ready to be planted on f5. And the gorgeous thing about this now is they don't have any pawns on the G or E file to come target a knight that's on f5. So that's very, very nice. It won't easily be kicked away. Bishop e3, knight to f5, bishop to b5, pinning my knight. This looked a bit scary, but I just played the move rook to c8. You know, just reinforce that knight. No need to mess about here. And then I play rook takes on c6. I guess I could have maybe gone for this, but then after like a move like queen a4, I don't know, this pin still looked a little scary to me, so I thought, let's just take with a rook. Let's keep the A and B pawns connected. Let's just have a fully open C file. Let's not get into any shenanigans here. And then they do play this move queen a4, pinning the rook. So I just play a6 because when there was a knight on c6, the pawn on a7 was defended. But now that this is a rook, unfortunately, they don't quite move as a knight would. So I have to play a6 to sort of defend this. The engine just wants bishop e7. I wonder why it wants bishop e7. Can you not then just take? Or do things get a little uncomfortable after castles and it's like, I don't know, rook over at some point? Like, maybe we're going to take away some squares from the queen, but I was a little bit scared. Rook g1 is played. And guys, this open g-file plays a real significant part in this game. Because I do actually go on to short castle. I think queen d7, this is a miss because of b5. Like, it wants me just to throw the queen away, basically, because, look, my dark square bishop covers all these squares are covered. You can step forwards, and then you're dead. So your only square here is this move b3. I mean, all c2, obviously, but queen b3, best move. But I don't do that. Like I say, I play queen d7, and my idea here is very simple. I want to, let's just say our opponent plays like this, really stupid move. I would then take on c3 with check, and you can block with a queen, but you still lose the queen. Chances are you move over, psych, you'd obviously take the rook, and then I would just go ahead and take the queen. So that was the idea behind queen d7. It's given us a miss, because my opponent can just play queen b1. They could have also gone like queen b3 or something, but I then just short castle, bishop comes over, I bring my rook over to the open file. Double stack on the open file, okay? Double stack. Rook steps up to g2, and then I capture the bishop, okay? They then have to recapture themselves, and then I play this move queen d8. See, I really want to make this move c4 work, but as much as you think, okay, this looks so appealing for me, I'm going to hit their queen, you know, and I'm just going to take control of this open c-file, you also have to put just as much energy into calculating why this might be a good move for your opponent. So, although this looks so good for me, it's like, well, it's even better for my opponent. You know, there's a rule in chess called the 50-50 rule. You put 50% of your energy into calculating why it's good for you, and then also do the same for your opponent. Like, it's a two-man thing going on here, or two-woman thing, or one man, one woman. Who knows? Who knows? So I play queen d8 to basically prepare this move, rook c4, because then my queen's not hanging. Really quite simple. And also queen b6 is a very fun idea. And the reason this is a fun idea, it's given us a mistake. I hate the engine, just leave me alone. It's given us mistakes you can take on d5, by the way, because after I recapture, my knight hangs. But we're going to ignore that. We're not good enough to spot things like that just yet. This is fun because I can now just take the knight because this pawn's pinned, so I'm asking a question of my opponent, and also there's no threat on g7 at the moment because my knight defends. And when they go back to c2 with a queen, this is a blunder for that exact reason, right? I just take the knight. And it's like, now I'm up a full piece of material and there's literally nothing you can do. Opponent here captures my knight, they just completely sack the exchange to take on g7. And I had envisioned this, and I thought to myself, right, I can go to f8, and then, you know, we can make a trade of rooks, and that's fine, I'm still up so much material. Or I can go to h8, which is where I played, because now I'm going to keep all my pieces on the board. So they take this pawn. I then just step up to c2 because I am just threatening mate in 1 basically. So they step forwards, but after queen takes on d4, like, mate is really quite unavoidable. I mean, you can obviously give checks, you can like check me to death, but you know, mate is really unavoidable. So guys, that's the first game for you. I mean, we played a Caro-Kann, we played all out attacking chess, and we never really had to do anything crazy. Just implement this 50-50 rule, and my word, are you going to notice your elo absolutely skyrocket. So, game number 2. White pieces this time, okay, so you're not going to see a Caro-Kann. We are playing against a man from Bulgaria, okay. e4, e5, knight c3, and b6. So I'm playing a Vienna game, and then I play the move f4. Because the Vienna Gambit, if you don't know it, is one of the most fun attacking openings in the world, okay? Typically, what would happen is this knight would come out, knight f6 is the best move, and then you go for a Vienna Gambit, because if they take, you then push, and the knight is getting thrown about, and white immediately has a huge advantage. But when my opponent goes for this sort of, I don't even know, modern setup with bishop b7, I just play f4 all the same, just keep developing. Bishop c4, it wants to move h4, just to sort of put as much pressure on this pawn as possible, and just rip open the king side of the board. But after knight f6, this is just obviously a big mistake, because I can take the pawn on g5. It's now hanging because you block the queen's path. For some reason, you know, I'm a bit of a moron. I play d3. And I didn't see the hanging pawn. Like, you just get so fixated, you just don't see these things. It's weird. But I see it the second time round, thankfully. But I only saw it because I wanted my knight and bishop to combine on this square. So I didn't even see it for the right reasons. h6, I of course just take. I mean, this doesn't feel like a 1500 elo game. This feels like some sort of bullet game. I recapture, and then I just drop back, forking the queen and bishop. I then just take, right? And you'll notice the game started with 15 minutes on the clock. You get 10-second increment for every move. I am comfortable blitzing out the opening because I know this opening so well. And also my moves have been so simple. Like, because my opponent has just been hanging pieces, hanging forks, hanging tactics. But my opponent needs to invest more time. I mean, unless your moves are that clear-cut and simple because your opponent keeps blundering, use your time. Queen takes on g2. Now, I was a little bit stumped here, okay, because I really wanted to try and make some sort of check work and then, like, I don't know, maybe bring the queen out, but the knight does such a good job at controlling all the squares I want to get to, as does the queen, of course. So I thought, right, I can't hang my rook. Like, I want to make an exciting game for YouTube, but I can't hang the rook, right? And so I play rook f1. Okay, I know, bit cowardly. Their knight jumps in, and I back up to bishop b3. So all the while we were talking about, you know, this 50-50 rule, okay? Why is this good for my opponent? And I noticed, right, like, if I ever bring my queen out, there's going to be some serious threats on this pawn, you know, and also on this e2 square. Like, I don't want to hang checkmate. So I just sort of thought to myself, right, let's play a little bit of a waiting move. I mean, of course I can take on f4 with my bishop. You know, no problems there whatsoever. But I thought, let me just back up to b3. The engine's not going to like it, but I like it, okay? It's absolutely solid. When I'm up 8 points of material, I just want to be absolutely solid. Let's put a pause in that conversation, actually. I don't want to be absolutely solid. I want my position to be absolutely solid. And here I just sort of think, right, well, I can't really go wrong now, right? Opponent takes on h2, and then I capture the bishop, right? Because capture the bishop? I wish I was capturing a bishop. I captured a pawn with my bishop. And now it's cool because I hit the queen. Queen has to move. I just step up to d2, which is a bit of a gangster move, right? I mean, like, what else am I really meant to play here? If I play rook f2, you probably just go for some sort of repetition. So I just lift this. Knight e6, I then just take. I found this really weird at the time. I was like, why are they not just, like, why have they not taken my knight this whole time? You know, I don't know. I found it a bit strange. And they just gave me an opportunity to trade it off instead of just lose it. Hey, I mean, who am I to judge? I then just pick up the pawn. The whole centre of the board is just completely ripped open. Knight d5, they capture my pawn, so I recapture with my pawn. And this looks very uncomfortable because of this pin. I can't move my knight, so I slide the king back to c1. They take, I take, and my bishop is just locked in the middle of the board there. Like, I am cutting off so many squares from your king. It's so annoying. Queen h3, this is just a bad move, because I can, of course, just take the queen. Right? Like, I don't know what was going on with my opponent there. We played a 15-minute game, and the game ended, and we were both in the 14 minutes. Which is fine if your opponent keeps blundering and your moves are so simple, like just taking the queen. But like, my opponent needed to invest more time in the opening there. If you're unfamiliar with an opening, that's absolutely fine. No one expects you to know everything, but at least use some time and try and think about it a little bit. So guys, game number 3. I'm so excited to share this game with you. If you've enjoyed so far, smash a like. I would greatly appreciate it. Drop a comment. What do you guys want to see on the channel? A bit of d4 and d5. Hopefully you want to see that on the channel, because that's what we've got. A little bit of c4 and c6. We're playing a Slav defense. I love the Slav. This is my best opening, according to my win ratios on chess.com. So I felt very comfortable going into this Slav right now. Opponent plays knight to c3. I play knight f6. We get knight f3 and then bishop to f5. This is all theory. This is nothing crazy, nothing complicated. And this is just a blitz game. So yeah, it's 3 minutes, 2 seconds for every move. Bishop f4. I thought this was a little bit weird. The eval, I think, would probably want me to take this pawn, I think. Yeah, this is the best move. Eval didn't really move. But I don't like doing that. I think it creates some imbalances, and I kind of like having this c-pawn, eventually trading it off to make way for my knight. So I just play e6, open up the dark square bishop, they play e3, I play knight to d7, they take, and then I recapture with my e-pawn, because I just sort of think, once this bishop's out, eventually I get castled, rook e1, I have a semi-open e-file now. It just looks very nice, I think. They offer a trade of light square bishops, so I drop back. If you, of course, take now, I mean, that would just be very strange, right? You open up my h-file, I'm going to put some dark squared pieces on this. I don't know why these arrows aren't drawing. And it's going to be very uncomfortable for your pawn on h2. So they don't take, they just make a battery with the bishop and queen. I play bishop to b4, pin this knight. They jump into the centre, which is always very, very scary. So I immediately eliminate that threat, okay? Their knight in the centre is worth so much more than my knight that was just sat on d7, so I had no issue trading that off. And after they took with the pawn, I thought, that's a bit strange. Let me combine my pieces to attack this pinned knight on c3, right? Like, I see no issue here. They castle, which I thought was just so strange. So I take with the knight, attacking the queen. So they're, of course, forced to take. And then I'm just up a pawn, right? They immediately attack my bishop, and I really considered playing d4 here. The reason I didn't is, well, it gives it as a huge mistake. is just because, I don't know, after a move like e takes, bishop takes, rook over, like this just looks absolutely terrifying, doesn't it? So I just sort of avoided all of this. It wants me to take on d3 here, but this just looks so scary. This bishop's so pinned, but I guess I could just push here potentially. No, I cannot. I guess you could. Can you sack this? Kind of, not really, but like if I were to ever take, I'd just lose my queen. But somehow, some way, I'm still up material here. The two rooks would potentially survive, so instead I just backed off to b4. They played bishop e4, which I can only assume was a mouse slip, right? Like they had like 12 seconds of thinking time here, and they played bishop e4. Like, I'm assuming they meant to take, but even this just looks so ugly. Like, that can't be right. So I'm really not sure what the idea was here. Like, maybe they wanted me to take with the pawn and then bring the rook over, but after queen e7, I'm not really sure where the attack is. But I just took with my bishop, because I wasn't sure what their attack was. They pushed, I just drop all the way back. They come attack the centre, I castle. e4, queen b6 check, they block, so I just slide back to c7. After takes, I take on e5. Queen slides over, I then take in the centre. Bishop attacks my queen, I drop back. Rook's looking to infiltrate, so I just push. They double stack, and then I offer a trade. They don't accept, so I force them into it, and now I force the queens off the board as well. Important to note, if you're up material, just get all the pieces off the board. Like, don't overcomplicate anything. They slide over, so I just drop back. King f2, bishop c5, offering another trade. They accept, and after rook d8, like, this pawn is going to fly up the board like no man's business, right? Like, I'm running. I play this move bishop to c2 to sort of lock my pawn on d3, because these pieces, of course, defend each other. And when you have a pawn 2 squares away from promotion, this king is now locked in, okay? It's going to be the rook's problem as well. You might have to come back. So my rook is basically just free to just go on a wander and just start picking up pawns, you know? Rook e7 is played. I then play rook a8. They attack the pawn, so I take theirs. King e3. Rook a1. They jump forward, so I give this check, pick up some more pawns. There's just really nothing you can do. Now my h pawn's going to start flying up the board, and it's like, after I take your rook, I take here. There's really nothing you can do. I mean, I play like queen b1. Your only move here is king d2. I then have this check. And if you went this way, I have checkmate on g1. But let's say here is queen f4 just mate. I think that's just mate, isn't it? Yeah. Beautiful. So, guys, game number 3. Absolutely crushing blitz win. I don't really play too much blitz. As you can see, my elo's only 1100, but we beat someone that's in like the mid 1600s. I just don't play blitz, man. Like, I'm not trying to fly my blitz elo. I just love playing rapid. Maybe I should just get my blitz elo up. But anyway, we beat her close to 1700. And then game number 4. We are playing somebody from Germany. And it's a rapid game again. 10-minute game. I believe we played at like 90 accuracy this game, or like 95. I don't actually remember. I know they were all like in the 90s, but because otherwise I wouldn't be showing you them. But we get a French, and I like the exchange variation. Taking with the queen is not good, right? Because you just allow me to play knight c3 and gain a tempo. Like, you have to recapture with the pawn, accept the open e-file, but they don't. They now pin me. And here I was thinking, and I thought, because I've wanted to try this for a long time in the exchange, why can't I just play bishop d2? Like, I fully recognise that I'm hanging a pawn on d4. Like, I'm very well aware, but after knight f3, I don't know, like queen d8, and then just like bishop out, look at my development. Like, I know I'm down a pawn, but I don't know, I see it as like a little bit of a gambit. So I did play this move bishop d2, sort of curious. Like, I wanted to review this after, and just see if this is an option. Unfortunately, my opponent didn't take the pawn, so I sort of had to just go through it afterwards through memory. But bishop takes on c3. They develop, so I just keep developing now. We both get short castle. They jump into the centre, so I quickly attack this knight, and then they play f5. F5, wow, looks horrible. It looks absolutely horrible. Like, the light squares now, this diagonal is just so strong, and I have a light square bishop that could move to that diagonal. You know, maybe I play like b3 to prepare it. Obviously not right now, because they have knight takes on c3. But you guys know what I mean. Like, you've really weakened the light squares. I'm going to play rook e1 as well and just sort of target this pawn. Like, I don't know, f5 looks horrible. So I play rook e1. We get b6. I jump my knight back, offering a trade, and then they play bishop b7. Now, I kind of missed the opportunity just to go up a pawn here and just, you know, dominate the light square diagonal you just move your bishop to, which is a little bit annoying because I played bishop c4 attacking the queen. They take, I take, and now I've got double stack pawns. I'm still much better, but I feel like this just could have been avoided if I just calculated a little longer. We get queen d6. I mean, just, yeah, not a good move. You need to go to like queen a5, I think, and yeah, the idea of queen a5 is, although I'm about to go up a pawn, you can then recapture, you know, so you've got to look for these sort of intermezzos. So they go back, I take the pawn. The reason this is such a good move, and I don't just take with the bishop with check immediately, is because when I take with the rook, sorry, I'm struggling to get my words out here for some reason. Now I set up this discovered check, right? And you can't play this because you'd hang your queen, right? So you have to move the queen. Let's say, I don't know, what does it want? It wants you actually just to take the rook because it's such a strong move. My opponent plays queen a3, right? Which means that wherever I move my rook to now, there's actually nothing you can do about it. Like, you can't, if I take this knight, which I did play, you still have to move your king, right? There's nothing you can do. What I should have played here, and I should have spent more time calculating, I just got a little bit trigger happy that I'm up a piece, is this move rook h6. So it gives a check, and you have to block. If you slide over, it's mate because of takes, and this move queen h5. But I completely missed it. I should have spent more time calculating. I was so annoyed at myself here that I only spent like 20 seconds on this move rook takes on c6. Obviously giving a check, so the king slides over, and then I just take on c7. Like, we're still absolutely crushing here. But man, if I'd have found rook h6, I'd have been so happy. They slide over. I play this move queen to h5. They bring their queen back. So I slide over to f7, offering a rook trade. Opponent doesn't take it. They play queen c6, threatening a checkmate of their own. So here I just play f3. You know, I just block this whole diagonal. They take, I take. And then they play g6, which I thought looked a little bit strange. But hey, what do I know? Rook e1, preparing to just bring my rook up and threaten checkmate. They play b5, I just play rook e7, and now mate in 1 is actually unavoidable. I mean, here my opponent played queen takes on c7. On c7? They were on c... No, they weren't. What the hell am I talking about? c7 for? On c4, sorry. And yeah, here I just have mate. I think I can even just take on c4, you take back, and then give mate, like if I was feeling real nasty. But guys, those are the 4 chess games. I mean, like I said, just all-out attacking chess, just pure calculation. So annoyed I didn't find rook h6 in this game. That would have been absolutely beautiful. Like, just use more time. You know, I got to take my own advice here. Also, if they block with the rook, there's just this move queen h5, which is just so gangster, right? Like, surely it just looks like you take. Well, no, because then I can take, and then this is mate. Like, it's just gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to smash that like button. I'd be so grateful. You know, drop some comments. Let me know. Interact with me. What do you guys want to see? Subscribe if you are new. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.